So good morning and welcome to Thursday's Adapted Yoga. Because it's adapted for people with high blood pressure, diabetes, joint problems. But if any time anyone feels sick or something doesn't feel right, then please don't do it. If you can, make sure that you've got a chair, you've got cushions and bands and things like that. You may need them, you may not. And what I'll do is I'll try, and if I need to adjust something, I'll show you the full version so anyone can get on with that if they want to, and then I'll show you the adapted version. So if you look at something and you think that's not for me, then just wait a second, let me show the other people how to get on, and then I'll show you an adaptation for it. So we're going to start off standing, and we're going to take our hands down by our side, palms facing forward, shoulders pulling back. We're going to think about filling our lungs one at a time. So we're going to breathe out, and then we're going to fill the bottom part of the lung. We're going to hold it for about 3 seconds. Then we're going to fill the middle part of the lungs. Hold it again for 3 seconds. Then we're going to fill right up to the top of our collarbone. And hold it for 3 seconds before we breathe back out again. And that's all we're going to do. If we feel we need to, if we think, oh, I'm forgetting how to breathe, I'm getting a bit panicky, I'm starting to tense, then just do a few rescue breaths. So just breathe it out through the mouth. So here we go. Breathing out first. So we're going to lift our arms, breathe in and out through the mouth. Let's do 2 more, and these are just cleansing breaths. And they just help to bring the breathing back to normal if we kind of get a bit stuck with our breathing. And then bring it back. So we're going to move our head forwards and backwards. So we're going to breathe out and drop the chin down. And breathe in, bringing the chin back. We're going to do 4 more forward, 4 more back. Working with that breath. Remember, if you need to, you can always support the head. You don't have to take it too far back. And then bring it to centre. So the same thing, we're going to do the same thing with our neck. We're going to tick-tock the ear from side to side. 5 on each side. And then to centre. And we're going to look over each shoulder. And again, breathing out, 5 on each. And bring it back. So let's do forward, backward bend. Now, if you've got shoulder problems or high blood pressure, you might not want to take your hands above your head. You can if you want, or you can just have them in line with your shoulder. If you've got back problems, then you don't want to curl up. You want to make sure that the back stays straight and that you're coming up with a straight back, protecting the spine. So for people without back problems or high blood pressure, you're breathing in, lift, reaching back. Breathing out, going down. Breathing in, lifting up. With blood pressure, you're having the arms in line with the shoulders. You're going down. You're not dropping the head. You're not lifting the arms up too high. Okay, so it's your choice which ones you want to do. I'll stay low, and that way anybody that feels they want to stay with me feels they can. They don't have to go too high. We're bending them knees. We're reaching back a little. And we're going to do 1 more. And bring it back down. So we're going to take it into a side stretch, and we're taking it into a Krishna. So again, blood pressure, you may not want to raise your arms, but I'm going to start with the arms raised. You're taking the one foot behind the other foot, but keeping the feet flat on the floor. So if you've taken your left leg behind, it's your left arm that lifts up. You're going to grab hold of the wrist with your other hand, and you're pulling over to the side. You're pushing your hips away. Now, if you've got blood pressure problems, you might not want to take your hands up. You may still raise, lift, reach that hand down towards out. And let's change sides. So bring the foot round, make sure the foot's flat on the floor. Reach the hand up if you're doing the Krishna, grabbing hold and pulling. Or if you've got blood pressure problems, then we're just taking our hand to the floor. Now you may find that that front knee bends a little bit, and that's okay. You're just pushing your hips over to the side. If you're in Krishna, you may prefer to look up towards your hand. And let's bring it down. And we're going to change size 1 more time. So bringing it over again, go into Krishna if you prefer. I'm going to stay down again in case anybody follows, because you know everybody will just follow me. So if you want to take the arm up, you can do, that's fine. That's it, lovely. And with this, you'll feel, no matter which one you're doing, you'll feel the stretch through the hip. If you've got the arm lifted, you'll feel it more through the ribs as well. So let's bring it back up and change sides. So taking that foot behind, either lifting the arm or reaching down. And bringing it back in. Lovely. So let's take it into a twist. So with this, you can turn and you can do one side at a time, making sure the head leads. Or if you find that you can't, you can just hold it. And you can just hold it here, looking over, holding it for 3 breaths. And then bringing it round. So again, sometimes if you're twisting your head, your blood pressure tends to go up, or you get quite dizzy, so you can keep it here. And again, if you've got back problems, you might want to slow it down so that you're really concentrating on that lower back. And we'll do one more on each side, or we'll carry on going as you're going backwards and forwards. And bring it back to centre. Lovely. So let's bring it into a standing cat and cow. So if we take our feet slightly apart, turn the toes out, we're bringing our fingers together. We're going to start with our right little finger at the bottom first. We're bending our knees, we're tilting our pelvis under, we're pushing our hands away, we're pushing forward as we breathe out. Now as we're breathing in, we're going to take the hips backwards. We're going to pull the shoulders back. We can bring our fingers together, turn the palms out, stretch them back. As we breathe out, we're tilting forward. We're rolling in. We're bringing the left finger to the bottom and pushing out, breathing out. And as we need to breathe in, everything goes in the opposite direction. Breathing out. Breathing in. Let's do one more backwards and forwards. Oh, they're so nice. Let's just do 2 more. I like these. They really work into the shoulders and the lower back. So our last one. And bring it down. Lovely. So if we bring it into reshape position now, if you've got a chair, you might need that in. If you've got a block, you might prefer that. I'm going to lower my camera a little so that you can see my feet. So, to start off you're bringing the feet in line. You're going to take the hands out and you're going to either bring it down to the leg or to the block. You can lift the hand up. You can bring it across and lift the hand up. You can grab hold of the legs and pull in. And then bend the knees, lift up. If you've got the chair, you're not going side to side. You're just bringing it to the edge of the chair, bringing the hand behind the back and lifting back. Bringing it down, bringing the hand to the other side of the chair and twisting, keeping an eye on that back. Bringing the hands to the chair, bend the elbow, keeping the head above the heart. I'm going to change the other side. And again, we can lift and lift up. So we're going down, breathing out. Hand on the back, keeping that back nice and straight, twisting up. Taking it across to the other side. Twisting, keeping an eye on that lower spine. Bringing both hands to the chair or the floor or the legs, letting the body drop down. Bend the knees, breathe in. Let's do one more. Breathing out. Breathing out. Breathing out. Breathing in. And bring the arms down when you've finished. Lovely. Perfect. That's it. As long as you've done it even on both sides, that's fine. Right, so let's going to take it into our hips a bit more. That did more the inside of our thighs as well as our waist. If you need to, you can hold a chair or hold a wall. You're bringing yourself onto one foot. You're taking the leg out, taking it down and bringing it in. Out, rounding it in. Now, if that's too much, you can keep the foot on the floor and you can sort of draw a circle with your toes. And if that still feels a bit too much on your hip, you can just go backwards and forwards. So I'm going to draw a circle. And then we're bringing it in. So we're going to bring our weight onto our other side. And again, it's out, turn and back. Or circle. Or backwards and forwards. Whichever feels better for you. And bring it down. So we're going to do a little one for our legs. Again, if you need that chair, it's always there, so you can always hold on to it. You're coming up onto your tiptoe on one side and keeping the heel down on the other. You're bending and bringing your bum down, but you're keeping that heel down and you're pushing this heel forward a little bit. But keeping that back nice and straight, you don't want to come forward. But you'll feel it in the Achilles and the heels on one side and the toes on the other. And then we're bringing it up and we're going to change sides. So again, the toes up on one side, the heel on the other. Sit down, push that heel forward. And let's change one last time. And let's do the other side. And bring it up. Give your legs a little shake. So we're going to go into sun salutation. I'm going to do the first one with the chair, but if you know how to do it without the chair, do it without the chair. Everything's exactly the same. All I'm doing is I'm using the chair as my floor, so I don't have to go down too far. So again, if you've got blood pressure problems, you might prefer this. If you've got knee problems, you might not want to go to the floor. We're going to start off in our mountain pose. So making sure that our knees are in line with our hips. We're lifting up, engaging all our thighs, engaging our bum, pulling our pelvic floor and our abdominals, bringing our shoulders back and down, bringing our hands together in prayer, squeezing them together, closing our eyes if we can, and asking for anything you want. So we're going to breathe in, lifting our arms up if we can. If you feel you can't take them any higher, don't worry. Breathe out, bend the knees if you need to. Bring your hands to the floor, to the chair. Bring it into a forward bend. As you breathe in, we're going to straighten the legs and try and get a nice straight back. So we're making a sort of an L shape with the body into a half bend. We're going to step back with our right foot and push into our left knee. Roll the shoulders back, look up. Lift the arms if you want, but you don't have to. We're going to step back into down dog. Letting the head come between the arms, trying to straighten the legs, but if we find that the back starts to bend, try and straighten one leg at a time. Or if you can't get your heels to the floor, it's the same principle, you're working the opposite way. We're coming up onto our tiptoes and we're going to roll forward over our hands, bring our shoulders back, push our heels away into plank. From here, we're going forward, dropping down, shoulders back, look up into cobra. And then we're pushing back into down dog. We're going to lift our left foot up in the air and look forward. Pull the knee in towards the chest and step it forward. Drop the hips, shoulders back. Again, lifting up if you want to. Lovely. Perfect. Then we're going to bring our hands back down if we need to and step in to a forward bend. Lift the head, bend the knees, lift the arms up, breathe in. I'm going to do an adapted version from the floor now. Breathe out, take it down. Breathe in, bringing it back into that half bend. Take the hands down, step back with that left foot this time. You can always bring that knee down, push forward. You can lift up. You can lift that leg at the back. Bring it down. Come back to down dog. Again, if the heels don't go down, you can always walk them. Come up onto the tiptoes, roll forward, over your hands, bring the chest down, shoulders back, lift to whichever version of cobra you want. Bring it back to down dog. Lift the right foot up, look forward, bring the knee into the chest, step it forward, bring it up any way you can, lift the arms, lift that knee if you want to, lovely. Bring the hands down, step into that forward bend, lift the head, breathe in, lift up and back down. Wonderful. So I'm going to take it into warrior 1, 2 and 3, but we're going to move. So I'll let you see my feet first. And we'll do it with our hands on our hips to start. We can lift them up after. So if we start at the front of our mat, my chair out the way slightly. Having your hands on your hips, bring your weight to your right foot. Bring your left foot up so that it's in line with your hips. Flex the foot, squeeze that leg in. Now if you can, see if you can straighten it, then bring it in. Then place it down, foot flat, hips forward, we're pushing in. We're pushing into warrior 1, but with our elbows pulling back. From here, we're keeping the front knee where it is, but we might want to turn that back foot out so that the hips are going straight and push into that knee into warrior 2. We're going to turn the hips and that back foot onto our tippy toe. So we're kind of in a warrior lunge. But now we're coming and stepping up onto that front leg and lifting, seeing if we can lift the foot, flex the foot into warrior 3. We're then going to spring ourselves back up. So we can do the other side. So I'm going to change the camera so now you know what my feet are doing. We can move the arms if you want to. Remember, the more you lift your arms, the higher your blood pressure goes. So you don't have to lift it if you've got blood pressure problems. Oh, I'm a bit sticky. Well, my connection must be a bit weird. So we bring our hands into prayer to start. Move the weight over so that you're on your left. And now lift the right foot up. Kick it out. Pull it in. Step it back. Push into the knees. If you can lift the arms, or you can just bring them to here if that feels okay, or you again like you keep them there if you want. We're going to drop the arms in line with our shoulder and spin ourselves around. Remember, you can move that back foot if you feel you need to. We're pushing into that front knee. We're going to bring that back hand all the way down, and as it goes down, we're bringing that hip round, bringing them toes round, lifting them arms up. Step up. Now see if you can move into warrior 3. And then bring yourself back up. Bring the hands back down. Okay, lovely. Let me do it the other way around. So, here we go. Let's try this again. We're bringing the weight onto our left foot, lifting up our right leg. Kick it out. Step it back. Push forward. Lift them arms if we can. Let the arms open. Thumb goes up. We spin round. We adjust that back leg if we need. We push into that front leg. But we keep our body nice and straight. We're bringing the back arm down. As it goes round, we follow it with our hips and our waist. We're lifting up. And then we're moving forward. Let's bring ourselves back up. And bring our hands back down. One more. Move the weight. Lift the foot. Kick it out. Take it back. Lifting them arms. Push forward. Reach back. Open the arms. Turn the body. Push to the front knee but pull back to keep the body straight. Drop the arm. Lift up. Reach forward. And bring it up. Bring the arms back down. Lovely. I love that flow. It's one of my favourite flows because it's so nice, and once we kind of know all them moves, but while you're waiting for the kettle to boil in the kitchen, you can flow into it and you can make it as easy or as hard as you want. But you can, and it can get it nice and fast once you get into you know what you're doing. And like I said, even if your arms are not really doing it today, you can always do the same thing with your hands down. You don't have to lift the arms up. So if your arms are feeling a bit today, leave them out. So we're going into head to knee pose, which is here. Holding on, flexing the foot, walking the hands down to grab hold of the foot, and then trying to bring the head down onto the knee. So that's where we're trying to go. We'll start off with just starting with the leg. So the first thing is just bringing the leg up and seeing if we can straighten it out. Holding it there. Now, if this is too much, if you find you can't do it, if you've got a chair, start by just placing it on the chair. If you can always get some extra padding, put it over the top of the chair so that you're bringing your foot up a little bit higher. If you've got a settee or a chair, like you've got the arm of your chair there, you can always stick your foot up on the arm of your chair. That's it. And that just gets your leg in the right position. So you're holding it here and getting used to it in this position. Now from here, what we can do is pull our belly in and walk our hands down our leg. Now we don't want to curl, we want to keep pushing the chest down. So if we get to a point where we start to curl, we stop there and we just push and kind of bounce at this point. So really trying to pull them shoulders back, pushing the chest forward. Pull the belly in. And then we're going to come back up and take that foot down. So we'll try the other leg. I'm going to use the back of my chair. So again, we're bringing it up. We can either have it here, we can have it here and just getting used to it in that position. We can rest it and then we can move forward, pulling the belly in, trying to get the chin past the knee. And again, if we feel we want to, we can kind of just pulse it. Watch your shoulders, Glennis. You don't want them coming up and over. You want them pulling back and down. That's better. And then let's bring ourselves up and bring ourselves up. Now, if you've got a band, we're going to try the same thing with a band. If this doesn't feel right for you, stick with the chairs. I'll use an elastic one because you've got an elastic one. Make sure that it's nice and straight, that it's not all scrunched up so that it doesn't hurt your foot. Bring your foot in. Get as close to your toe as possible. Shoulders back, pull the stomach in, stretch the foot out. Then you're going to pull the elastic or the band so that you're bringing your chin past your knee. And again, if it feels too much, you can always stick your bum against the wall. If again you want to, I'm going to change this so that anyone on a chair can always do the same thing on a chair. So I'm going to change it for just for this. So if you're on a chair, you can do the same thing. Bum right on the edge. Bring your foot in. Push it out. Pull yourself in. But you're trying to get as close to your foot as possible so that you're pulling. So it can be done on a chair as well. You do the other foot. So I'm not uneven. She says falling over. So again, pushing it out, shoulders back, pulling in. And bring it down. Give your legs a little shake. So we're going to bring it down to the floor. From here, if you bring yourself into a forward bend, step back, push back to down dog, onto your toes, come down to your knees, push down to child, let the head relax. Now, if you don't want to get to the floor, you don't need to, you can stay on here, on the chair, and I will show you some things on the chair. If you want to get down to the floor, the ways that I've shown you previously, using a pillow, bring that down with you. So we're going to start with boat pose, pose of a boat. It's not one of my faves, but I've got to teach it. And I'll show you on the floor first. Get on with it. Take about 4 or 5 breaths, and then I'll show the same version, but on a chair. Now, the first thing you've got to do is find your sitting bone. They're just inside your bum cheeks. So if you grab your bum cheeks and you pull your bum cheeks out, you may find like a bone. and it's quite uncomfortable to sit on it. But if you go slightly back, you'll find it's kind of like a circle, and it's just between them two bones and before you start to lean onto your coccyx, onto your tailbone. So it's it's the sitting bone. From there you should be able to lift your feet off the floor. Now you can keep the legs bent in, you can reach the arms out, pull the stomach muscles in and hold it here. And this is perfectly fine. If you can, you're trying to lift one leg, lift both. If you want to hold on and lift them so that you're pulling your back in, keeping your body nice and straight. You can always try and let go while they're up there. You can always use a band. So again, the same thing we just did earlier. Get it as close to your feet, straighten it and pull it. And that again will hold you in that position. You can always stick your feet against the wall and use it that way as well. But you're trying to keep your back nice and straight. Oh, I'm going to let that go because I'm trying to turn around at the same time. Keep your back nice and straight. Now, for the chair, very, very same thing. You're sitting on the chair. You can have your hands at the back. You're lifting your feet up. You're flexing up. You can always hold on and lift one and lift two. You feel really good. You could turn the other way around and do it in this position so that you've got the back of the chair to hold you, but you've got to have the right kind of chair. But this is the exact position you want to be in, so the chairs are quite nice if you've got the chair. And then when you're coming out, so if you're on the chair, you're going to bring your legs down, you're going to curl into a ball, and the same thing if you're on the floor. As you come out of it, curl into a ball. So bring yourself back up to your bum. So we're going to go into rocking the baby. Now with this, you can start off with the leg both straight and you can bring in one leg. You're grabbing hold first at with the opposite hand on the heel. The other hand is coming around the leg. And you can start by just rocking. If you can, you see if you can move it a little bit closer up the arm until eventually it comes into the elbow and you can grab the hands together and then you can rock the baby. But otherwise, you can stay here. And it's the same thing again, same principle on a chair. You're holding it and you're trying to rock it. And if you can get it closer, if you can get it up, even better. But don't worry, even if you can just kind of get it in that position and rock it a little. But it's more about trying to drop this knee and lift this foot up. And every time you're doing it, you're kind of pulling the foot in a little bit closer to you. So do whatever your knee and your ankle says. If I tell you to do something and your body goes no, listen to your body. It knows you better than me. So let's take that down and we're going to change sides. So again, we're bringing it up. We're grabbing hold wherever feels comfortable. And we're just rocking the baby. Any position. And you'll feel this start to work, like I said, the hips, the ankles, the knees. And then we're going to take it down. And we're going to try one more, but this time we're going to move their legs slightly different. So again, no matter where you've got it, even if it's here, what I want to do is to make a circle with that elbow. So if you're here, it's still the same thing. You're making a circle with the elbow that's got the foot. As you do that, you'll feel it again pull into that hip. And it's as if you're pulling it closer to you with every circle. And then we're going to swap it. Again, it doesn't matter where you are. You're making a circle with your elbow. And bring it down. So we're going to take it into a half cow face. So again, if you've got your elastics, have them by you in case you need it. I'm going to spin around so that you can see my foot a bit better. You're bringing, keeping the one leg straight, you're bringing the outside edge and you're placing it over the top. Again, I'll show you the version on the chair in a second. Now, whichever leg is over the top, so it's your left leg, your right hand goes up. So you're giving yourself a thumbs up, it's going up. And the elastic's there. The left leg, if it's the left leg, the left hand goes down. It comes in and it grabs hold of the elastic. If you've got long hair, you could always use your plait. Or you're trying to bring it all the way to your hand. I'm going to use my plait on this side because of my arm. So, from here, you're lifting the arms back, you're looking up, holding it there. Now, for the chair version, you may find that just going into figure 4, and again, you can do the same thing with the arm. If you haven't got an elastic, just have the hands touching in these positions. So, you're just trying to make sure that the bottom hand is always facing outwards. The top hand is always facing in. That way, when they come down, they come together. If you've got it kind of going like this, they're going to kind of miss each other. They have to be flat. One flat that way, one flat that way. Then they'll start to come together. So we're going to change sides. Undo yourself there. So I'm going to bring it around the other way. Bring the foot over. The thumb comes up, the other hand comes down. We're pulling the elbows back, we're looking up. And relax. So, we'll do it one more time, but this time we're going to try and move forward. But this bottom leg, we're going to try and pull the toe back so that we work the back of the knee. I'm going to lift it up so that it can sort of stay. So we're bringing it over. Pull that foot in as much as you can. If you're on the floor, if you're on this chair, just take it to wherever you can. Now this toe, make sure it's pulling back. You're really pulling it back. Bring the hands in. Lift the elbows up, look up. Now you're going to pull your belly in, and as you breathe out, you're going to try and get your chin over the top of your knee. Again, doesn't matter if it doesn't go anywhere near your knee. As soon as you move forward, you'll feel it pulling through the back of that leg, that straight leg. Through the hamstrings, through the back of the knee, through the calves, through the bum, through the lower back, up through the shoulders. It's like it does a whole stretch all the way through the back of the body. At the same time, working that hip. And then breathing in, bring it up. Undo the arms. Undo that leg. Let's change sides, last one. Bring it in. Flex yourself in, pull that toe back. Bring the hands round. Lift the head up, pull the elbows back. Breathe out, reach forward. Lovely. And bring it up. Undo. Bring the legs out. So our last one. You may need a block. We're taking it into lotus. Now with lotus, you can start wherever you want. So again, with this, you may just stay, if you're on the chair, into figure 4. You're bringing the one foot underneath. Now the other leg, it can go in front into, if that's as far as you can go. You can always, again, lift it so that you're putting it on a block. You can always try and bring it so that it's sitting on your calf. Or you can try and bring it up into half lotus so that it's up here. Now, it's not very easy just to sit in this, and it's quite boring. Again, you can always, if you find it's too much on your knee, you can always stick something underneath so that it makes it a little bit easier for you. So what we're going to do while we're here is a little bit of facial exercises, because we always need to do our face. So we're going to start with our eyebrows, and we're going to lift our eyebrows up and pull our eyebrows down. Lift them up, pull them down, up and down. If you can do one at a time, brilliant. Don't think I can without opening my eyes. I don't know if it works either. And then we relax our brow. So now we can either keep our eyes open or keep them closed, it's up to you. We are going to go round in a circle with your eyes. You're going to sort of look up to 12, over to 3, down to 6, over to 9. 12, 3, 6, 9. So like I said, they can be open or closed. It's completely up to you. Because if I'm open, I've got the sun right in my eyes. But it's starting to work the muscles in the eye that work the eyes. Again, because of working on screens all the time, we very rarely move our eyes all over the place. So then we're going to take our eyes in the opposite direction. So 12, 9, 6, 3. 12, 9, 6, 3. And then we're going to bring him to thinking. Now we're going to blink. And what blinking does is it starts to bring water and it refreshes the eyes. And again, because we tend to stare at things like screens, we dry our eyes out. And then relax the eyes. So we're going to swap over that leg. And it should have stopped hurting until you move it. Then we're bringing that one underneath. And again, we're finding the position that feels better for this one. So now we're bringing it into our nose. And we're going to squidge our nose up and then bring it down. Squidge our nose up, bring it down. And then relax. So with our mouth, we're going to go to a smile on each side. Then bring it together. Now we're going to make a big O to a small O. And relax. Now, if you get your hands and just tap your face. And again, this is just to encourage blood and all the nutrients that blood has into the face. Now, there's loads more that we could do, but because I've got to run, I want to just let you relax down for a couple of minutes before we finish, to relax them legs. So take that leg out. Whenever you're doing anything, if you get a chance, do this, and like I said, do your fingers, do your toes, do your facial legs, so all them muscles that we always forget. So let's lie ourselves down for a few breaths. Bringing yourself down, we're going to do the exact same thing we did at the beginning. You're going to breathe out. You're going to breathe into the lower parts of the stomach first. Hold it for 3 seconds. Then you're going to breathe into the middle. 3 seconds. And then into the top. 3 seconds. Then let all the air out. Legs can be bent or straight in corpse position. It's whatever feels better for you. Corpse position should feel lovely, especially after doing that with your legs.